California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We are coming to you from the Cannon House office building in Washington, D.C. We are joined by Ed Royce. He is a member of Congress from California. He recently became chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congratulations, sir, on your new position. How is that position going? A lot of issues before you?
Many challenges. As a matter of fact, we're just back from the Middle East,
right?
From Israel and from the region, and I can just tell you that one of the big surprises is how impactful and effective that Iron Dome has been.
For the Israelis.
It is amazing. In 2006, I was in Israel when Hezbollah was attacking Haifa. And I was in that town, and at one point we had to go into a bunker because the missiles were raining down. These rockets were hitting the civilian sectors of the town. The sirens would go off. I went down to the trauma hospital. There were 600 people in there, victims of those attacks. Yet today, with this new system of defense, it gives Israel the ability to interdict these incoming rockets.
And the Americans facilitated that deal. I mean, it was an American transaction.
We assisted it. Yes, you're right. But it was originally developed by Israelis. They had this concept that I think we were reluctant to believe could happen.
Right.
Where you'd fire and hit a bullet with a bullet, basically, and knock it down in an area that wasn't populated. So part of the whole scheme is to intercept exactly at the trajectory where you know that below that trajectory there is...
It's a miracle.
Yeah,
it is a
really,
miracle,
really,
literally.
So that's one of the issues we're looking at,
I
also
want to ask you about Syria,
yes,
which we know has been in a civil war for a few years now.
Right.
And recently it appears that the Israelis went into Syria through the air and struck some targets, likely Hezbollah terrorist factories, I guess we could call it. What's your sense of that situation?
Well, I'll tell you what that was about.
Please.
They don't acknowledge, these operations, but what Israel has said is that they don't want these new rockets with a longer range and with the ability to carry a payload such as chemical weapons. They don't want those to fall into the hands of Hezbollah. And inasmuch as Syria has transferred and Iran are the two countries that transfer rockets, when they find that rockets are going to be transferred to Hezbollah
in Lebanon,
these larger rockets with a greater range and the more lethal rockets, then they take action.
You mentioned chemical weapons, and as we speak today, we don't know for sure, but it appears that Syria may have used chemical weapons on its own people. And President Obama had indicated in the past on a few occasions that if that happened, it will be time for America to intervene in some fashion. What can you tell us about that statement and where America goes from here?
Well, first, the president has moved away from that statement since the evidence has come out.
You think he has backtracked a bit?
He has. But what is happening in the region, which is of considerable importance, is that the Europeans, along with the Saudis and Jordanians, are working to try to give support to the Free Syrian Army. The Free Syrian Army is a coalition of forces that are Shiite, Sunni, Alawite, Kurdish. Unfortunately, at the same time, Qatar, the country of Qatar, is supplying foreign fighters coming from outside of Syria and joining groups like al-Nusra.
Sure.
So the international community there in the Middle East are trying to put pressure on Qatar to cease and desist
and
doing this.
Let's continue that conversation when we come back. For our viewers on HLN, thank you for joining us. For our other viewers, we'll be right back.